Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Zaytheria, where we talk about all things related to frequency. Today, we are going to talk about areas on the Earth where electromagnetic frequency anomalies are prevalent, portals and vortexes. Then I'm going to tell you a little story about how after I visited one of the most sacred portals on Earth and went home and accidentally stumbled upon the secret frequencies that would decode the petroglyph I had just seen hours before. A portal or vortex within the Earth's electromagnetic field is a sacred doorway where energies converge, kind of like a bridge between the seen and unseen realms. These vortexes are not merely metaphors, but tangible and measurable anomalies in the Earth's electromagnetic field, where the veil between the worlds is the thinnest. So what are ley lines? Ley lines are lines of energy that crisscross the Earth in grid patterns. Imagine Earth as a living being. Ley lines are the veins or the meridians, amplifying and circulating energy across vast distances. Where they intersect, high levels of energy are amplified, often marked by ancient temples, megaliths, monuments, sacred structures, and places of power like Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, the Great Pyramid. All of these sacred sites are on ley lines of the Earth. A famous ley line would be the 33rd parallel, for example. Some say the energy flows at these portals is so powerful that it can bend the fabric of space and time. It's like a tunnel linking physical and non-physical dimensions. These portals are not bound by the typical rules of physics. Let's zoom in on some of the legendary vortexes in Sedona, Arizona, home to some of the most sacred and powerful vortex portals in the world. Sedona's red rocks hold a unique energy signature. The red iron-rich sandstone amplifies the Earth's natural electromagnetic field. Combine this with the convergence of powerful ley lines beneath the surface, and Sedona becomes a hotspot for electromagnetic energy. When scientists measure the electromagnetic fields in Sedona, they often find dramatic spikes. This is due to many different factors, such as the mineral composition. The iron and quartz in the red rocks create a piezoelectric effect, generating major electric charge spikes in the field. This amplifies the natural currents flowing through the Earth. Sedona's vortices may act as multi-dimensional antennas, amplifying cosmic rays or solar winds, interacting with the Earth's magnetic field. Sedona is said to sit at a significant crossroads of ley lines. These energy currents intensify electromagnetic activity, creating measurable spikes that align with ancient wisdom. The electromagnetic intensity in Sedona has profound effects on the human biofield as well. It is said while in Sedona, one's consciousness, intentions, and patterns are amplified dramatically, for better or for worse. Shadows are exposed to be dealt with accordingly, and those living in alignment with their path tend to feel the force field amplified toward their mission. All lessons will be repeated with greater and greater intensity until they are integrated. As far as publicity in the mainstream, there are 7 main portals Sedona is known for, but if you dig a little deeper, there are some secret portals that are very well guarded, and for good reasons. Bradshaw Ranch. Bradshaw Ranch is believed to be a gateway where beings, crafts, and energies traverse. Bradshaw Ranch, nestled deep in the Sedona wilderness, only accessible by cars with 4-wheel drive, has been whispered about for decades. Bradshaw Ranch was also a movie set where Hollywood stars such as Elvis Presley and John Wayne filmed movies at. The amount of paranormal phenomena documented at Bradshaw Ranch is off the charts. Interdimensional boundaries are said to be especially thin, allowing for sighting of beings and craft from other dimensions. There have been UFO sightings, glowing orb sightings, disc-shaped craft, zigzagging lights, sightings and contact with various forms of light beings or aliens, and even cryptids and Bigfoot-like beings with glowing eyes have been sighted at Bradshaw Ranch. People also report strange electrical malfunctioning, like compasses spinning in every direction. Many scientists have documented anomalous activity in the electromagnetic field, measuring periodic spikes of activity happening at so far unpredictable intervals. When these spikes occur, a doorway is said to open, and the paranormal activity and UFO sightings tend to happen at the same time as those documented EMF spikes. Bradshaw Ranch has also been tied to government operations. The land was mysteriously acquired by the government more than 20 years ago. Next, we have the Black Triangle. This place has been mentioned on Gaia's Cosmic Disclosure by multiple secret space program whistleblowers, referenced numerous times as yet another interdimensional portal where time travelers have come out of and disappeared into. It has been said that ancient shaman wouldn't even enter these particular regions unless they have gone through a meticulous period of meditation and fasting so that their frequency could best vibrationally entangle with the currents. Then we have Honanki and Palatki, sacred sites home to ancient indigenous Native American ruins. These are now owned and operated by the government, as well as heavily fenced, guarded, and surveilled. So we're going to talk about Palatki. Again, heavily guarded, only accessible by making a reservation. There are portions that are completely blocked off to the public and only accessible by those with a good reason. For example, those with Native American heritage may be allowed to access these most sacred parts. Palatki is one of Sedona's most significant archaeological and spiritual sites, home to marvelous ancient cliff dwellings built by the Sinagua people. Also the site of some of the most sacred and well-preserved petroglyphs created by various cycles of Native American inhabitants on the land, such as the Hopi. Many believe the petroglyphs themselves hold mystical codes and serve as gateways or portals to other realms. Palatki sits on Sedona's vast network of ley lines where earth energies converge. The vortex energy is particularly potent here. I personally felt like I was having a sober psychedelic experience just being there. I felt a sense of profound calm and purification, and I had some very strange visions, almost like in the aether. Let's talk about this secret, inaccessible spot. It's called the Shaman's Portal and is said to be one of the most sacred sites on the planet. We were guided to a spot against the mountain where a giant, what looked like a doorway, was mysteriously separated from the rest of the mountain. It almost looked like it was laser cut by some advanced technology. So there was a section where the shaman sat to contact higher realms. On the wall, there was a petroglyph of a caduceus-like shape. I sat and observed it for quite a while. When I went home that night, I got onto Ableton and I started playing around with frequencies, as I like to do. I stumbled upon the exact same shape I had just seen hours before, the caduceus petroglyph at the shaman's portal. True story. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and open up Ableton and I will show you what this is all about. So that was a sawtooth wave coming in at 128 Hz, being modulated by a ring modulator coming in at 1024 Hz. So that was generated with a sawtooth wave. And now we're going to take a look at another geometry that came through the same night after the shaman's portal. Here we go. And that was a 320 Hertz sine wave being modulated by a ring modulator at 1.12 kilohertz modulation. And now we're going to look at one last geometry from the same evening after the shaman's portal. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for joining me on Zaytheria. I hope to see you again in the portal.